Hello everyone! Someone brought this singer to my attention, and so I wanted to bring something else to everyone's attention. This is not a man. This individual, known as Donald Glover, and until recently also going by the pseudonym Childish Gambino, is a female-to-male transgender, transgendered from early childhood. In this person's recent music video, This Is America, they are shirtless and incredibly easy to analyze as a female. Now, females and males are very different at the skeletal level. Hormone replacement therapy changes the flesh, but not the basic skeletal structure. Females have an arch in their backs, and their thigh bones connect with a wide pelvis at an acute angle, known as a Q angle. Males and females both have Q angles, but on females it's far more acute. The widest point of the pelvis is typically equal in width to the shoulder joints on females, though some women have hips slightly wider or narrower than their shoulders. In this collection of stills from the video, we can observe a female spinal arch, beginning high in the back. The back curves in, then back out again, and the pelvis is tilted in the way female pelvises are. The spinal arch is very easy to see in all of these shots. Here we can also see the female Q angle. The widest point of the hips, where the thigh bone connects to the pelvis, comes in just below the crotch, over here, as is expected on a female skeleton. If we mark where the shoulder joints are, and compare it to this point here, you can see it's equal. The actual joints in the shoulder, not the built-up deltoid muscle, not the fat of the back or the muscle of the back, just the joint is equal to this joint. See that on both sides here. Also worthy of note is the incorrect appearance of the chest tissue on this person. On real males, there is not such a rounded, pointed look to the pectoral region, but rather a square appearance. Again, we can see the incorrect appearance of the chest tissue. There is too much flesh gathered in the lower portion of the pectoral, which is rounded and pointing in the manner of a shadow of the natural female teardrop shape this person would have developed had she not been put on hormone blockers as a child. The chest is also not equal on both sides, which is uncommon on males but very common on females, as the development of female tissue in the chest is often uneven. Also, at the edge of the chest, this sort of fatty gathering of tissue is commonly found on females, but not so much on males, particularly fit ones. This is a fit individual as one who's clearly a practicing dancer, and if it was a male of this body size and level of physical fitness, it would be very strange for this person to have so much subcutaneous body fat. Females have higher levels of subcutaneous body fat than do males as a general rule. Also here you can see the shoulders have a skeletal slope, which is also typical of females and quite rare on males. The neck is also very, very short. You can barely see a neck here. Typically males have much longer necks. You can also see here the collarbones are angled in from the shoulders, which is also typical of females, and they're quite delicate. Females should have a waist indentation above the navel, as we can observe on this individual. You can see it here, on both sides. The hips are wide and rounded, just as they should be on a female, and continually flare out past this indentation point. Continues much wider past that point. Here we can also see the defined spinal arch of this individual. Males can bend their spines, but not to this degree, and their spines will not have the arch this high up in the back. This is female. Also worthy of note is the soft appearance of the arms. Note also that the deltoid muscles are built up more than any others here, and this is a typical FTM trick to increase the appearance of the shoulder width in comparison to the wide hips. The arms angle out at the shoulders, which female arms do, in order to accommodate wide hips, so when walking the arms will not smack into the hips. Female arms within the Caucasian race will typically have the palm level to the crotch, but those with African ancestry usually have longer arms, and this person's arms look correct for an African-blooded female. Males with African ancestry would have longer arms than what we see here. These are just typical bodily dimensions that vary between the genders. Usually males have longer torsos and arms proportionally, and females have longer legs and shorter torsos and arms. Note that this person walks with spread legs in this portion of the video, but if the legs were closed, you can see that the curve visible at the edge of the leg would again show us the presence of that female Q angle. Again, see the very pronounced spinal arch, the curvy hourglass figure that should not be found on a male. The skeletally sloped shoulders, The softness to the body, all around here, softness all around. This is due to high levels of body fat caused by estrogen that cannot be fully blocked by hormone blockers. See again the curve to these thighs and the feminine-looking posterior. Look at this curvy hourglass figure and the extremely wrong chest tissue. If you watch this part of the music video, you can observe an inordinate amount of jiggling on this person's torso, which again should not be the case if this person were a male with this level of physical fitness. See how the arms angle out at the shoulders, both when hanging and when swinging. See the waist indentation point above the navel, the acute female Q angle, you can see it here, you can see it here, you can see it here, and the shoulder to hip ratio. Again, if you ignore the built-up deltoid muscles and instead look at where the collarbone reaches, at the end, here's where you find the joint. You go down here, it's equal. Same here, find the edge. It's in here, go down here, equal. Do not be confused by the beard. Taking testosterone has varying effects on females. Some struggle to grow a full beard, but some can achieve quite a bushy one. Again, the sloping shoulders. Now on some men, they'll build up the trapezius muscles, so that's like neck muscles, back muscles that are around in this area, and that will cause an apparent slope to the shoulders. But you can see on this person, you can actually see the edges of the bones and everything here. You can see this is just a skeletal slope. It's naturally coming down straight from the very short neck. So this is a female-looking set of shoulders. Check out the waist indentation point again too. The wide hips, very wide and rounded, showing a large female pelvis. The strange chest tissue, and the gathering of soft female fat in the upper portion of the arms. This doesn't look very male, does it? Especially not for a dancer. Testosterone administered to young females will have drastic effects over time. Can grow an Adam's apple and deepen the voice. Can grow body hair and a beard. Can allow for more male muscle development than a typical female would have with the lower natural levels of testosterone found in females. And it can bring about changes in the facial structure. These changes often include the increase in the size of the nose and the lengthening of the lower half of the face, as well as the growth of a brow ridge. However, this person's face still appears very feminine. Typically, females will have narrower jaws and chins that come to a point, and this can be observed on this individual. I do not observe much or any of a brow ridge on this individual. I also do not see an Adam's apple in this very short female neck. But it may just be the angle, perhaps it's blocked by the chin. Her testosterone treatments may have grown her one. The face may have been lengthened a bit from its original parameters through the use of the hormones, as mentioned. Typically, females have narrower dental arches and smaller mouths than males, but people of African descent usually have larger mouths than those of Caucasian descent. This individual's mouth does appear to be the correct size for an African American woman. Females also typically have eyes that appear smaller than males. This is usually because of the bones males have above the eyes that stretch their facial skin as they mature and result in the appearance of wider eyes. This person has quite small eyes, which are spaced fairly close, as is also typical of females. The energy in this person's eyes comes across very muted and gentle, unlike the intense, fiercer gaze of a natural male. Female foreheads are typically rounded or vertical in shape, unlike male foreheads, which typically have a backward slope to them. This person exhibits a female rounded forehead. The ear is tiny, just like a female's. The face is soft in appearance. The bones are not angular or jutting, as is more common on males of an average body size, which is what we are supposed to believe this person is. The female energy in this photo is incredibly obvious. There is also that FTM energy, the lost look in the eyes. The shape of the lips appears female, and the mouth again is not very wide. Usually males will have an upper lip that is slightly less full than the lower lip, while females will be equal in size. This person's lips are equal in size. Again, the pointed chin, the overall face shape more closely approximating an oval feminine appearance than a square masculine one. Small ears, the short neck. Males typically have more prominent cheekbones than females, and it's been shown that males with higher levels of testosterone will also have more prominent cheekbones than others. Genetics also play an enormous part in facial traits, of course, but it is worthy of noting this person's soft facial appearance with no jutting bones anywhere. No male brow ridge, nothing sharp about the jaw or the cheekbones. As mentioned, females have a higher level of subcutaneous body fat than males, and FTMs are often obvious because of this fat. It also results in extra fat around the face and in the chin and the jaw, creating the soft look we see here. So far, I still haven't seen much going on in this person's very short neck to indicate masculinity. Again, observe the wide hips, this classic FTM shape. The built-up deltoid muscles that confuse the untrained eye. The unnatural shape of the hips for a male makes it evident this person is female. This is not a male body shape. When the trousers are worn low, the shape of the legs is difficult to discern, and this is commonly done by FTM transgenders to disguise the full extent of their female Q angle and curvy thighs. Again, look at the softness of this person's torso. The lack of definition to the collarbones, the curviness of their hips, wide hips and legs. Usually, females' index fingers will be longer than their ring fingers. There are a percentage of females who have the reverse, which is more common on males, but it is quite rare for natural males to have an index finger longer than the ring, which we can observe here on this individual, index longer than ring. Again, this varies from person to person, but it is worthy of note. From skeleton to flesh to essential energy in the eyes, Donald Glover is undeniably a female. Watch the music video, see how the body moves, the flexible female skeleton, the softness of the female flesh, and ask yourself if you truly wouldn't think there was something strange about that person's appearance. They were standing right beside you. The elite transgender agenda aims to confuse people on what is normal for both genders, and they have presented many transgendered individuals to us as famous celebrities for many decades. Luckily, they have ways to keep the ignorant masses brainwashed. Part of that is because this deception is just unfathomable to the average person. People can't understand why anyone would do this. It seems insane. And it is, until you understand the reasons. It's just religion. A lot of horrible things have been done in the name of religion, and forced transgendering children is one thing done in the name of the elite's Gnostic religions. There are many different cults that worship a Baphomet god, or a dual-gendered god, or believe that androgyny, or a state of two genders, is a state close to personal godhood. These people do this for a reason. So regular people can't fathom what those reasons would be because they haven't heard of these ancient religions that have been around for thousands of years. However, this transgender agenda is very real and very present in our day. The people who control mainstream media are promoters of this agenda, which is why we have had transgendered celebrities presented to us for decades. They also program the populace with fear, anger, and mockery as automatic reactions to anything they don't understand. Humans don't like change, and because people are afraid of their world changing, they will continue to believe something, even something false, and often will aggressively defend their faulty mentality. This is a reaction caused by fear. They fear what it will mean for them and for their entire existence if the reality they believed their whole lives was a lie fed to them by the ruling elite. They fear mockery for being an outlier in society, so they react with mockery, a trick taught by the elite. They will not even consider alternative possibilities to the beliefs they already hold, and will curse and laugh at those who try to teach them. Please do not be one of these brainwashed people. Think about what I've said before you react. Don't use the automatic programming, use your mind. That's where freedom is found. And that's that.